Hi guys, in this video I will talk about some dangers of the B Artillerist nerf at the next balance page. I want to say that BE is not OP now, but why I talk about the danger of nerf patch about the BE is not I'm talking about only BE. I'm talking about all classes who have the many push immunity, about the have high operation rate push immunity class, even if they were weak like the Destroyer or some Lancer or some Breakers or characters who have the high operation rate of push immunity. In here, except the Boom's Destroyer, the Gravity core, all Destroyers core is really bad, showing bad performance. But there is still nerf possibility of the Destroyers. Why? Because the end contents of KR server is very easy. So I'll talk about the other thing before B Artillerist first. In my thinking, always B Artillerist is the class of the Quadron in the Lostark history that divide the expertiser with non-expertisers. So in some class, if you win the B Artillerist with your classes with similar combat scores, you are expertiser. But if you lose to the BE, in meaning you are not expertiser if the balance tier is similar with the BE. Like if you are a gunslinger and lose to the BE now, it is not meaning the non-expertisers. But if you are the legacy scouter and lose to the B artillerist, in meaning you are not expertiser with that class or that leg. That's what I want to talk. So like in PvP, if you're the players who know the PvP in Lostark, you will agree that the artillerist is the beginner killer class, but very weak to the rare player in PvP. So I want to meaning that if you have some understand of the concept of the late of the Lostark, you guys can win the B artillerist very easy if you don't make the many mistakes like the 2 downs. Why? Because normally in B artillerist history, B have always have the low damage potentials in DPS checking or ratio the low performance. But with long time push immunity with barrage mode, and it have the shield and damage reduction, and plus can use the energy field skill, we can have high operation rate of push immunity, also have the shield, and also can injure the boss's attack and make our own damage times. This type of classes who have the long push immunity always meet the nerf patch when the new raids are very easy. It's the situation now in KR that Abyss Dungeons, Cathedral of the Horizon is very easy. In here, I want to talk this history with start of Bartan raid, but in here, it is not familiar with the global server case. And when Bartan is end contents, there was no B artillerist. There is no class engraving about the BE. Then what's the problem related with push immune class and easy late combinations make the result of the nerf of that classes? Let's thinking about the low strike late histories. When common is the end content, it is impossible doing the injure the boost attack and hit. So injure the boost attack and hit is the basic concept of the push immunity classes. Why? Because injure the boost attack is not possible. Even if there was the supporter care, you guys are die if you hit by the boost. So in this late season, all pushing immunity class showed a really bad data and get the big buff. In near B also got the rework. When Echidna is end contents, there is the late system which make you enemy when you hit by some special attack 3 times, you become the enemy and death. So hurt you injure the boost patterns, make damage loss to the push immunity classes, but when they get the same damage loss with other classes because of the low damage potentials of these push immune classes, it is hard to they get the main core fighters. So because of and also these classes normally have the long skill delay motions because of push immunities. So they even if they get the big buff, they show the bad data, they still don't nerf and don't get any buff. So in Deimos, it is very easy late. But in here they don't have the many push attacks, and because of that head systems, low damage potential classes show the bad performance, except the Destroyer. So push immune classes normally have low potential and seeing the bad performance. But let's think Act 1 exit case. Is there any special concepts of the boss? No. There is no debuff of the attack in that late, and all patterns can be injured with push immunity with supporter cares. Also, there is the falling down death system like the Spartan, so push immunity's value become very high in these seasons. So, because of these issues, many shoot down is happen to the others, while push immune characters don't get pushed shoot down because of that long time push immunities. So, like the push immunity characters like the B Artillerist get the nerf at the egg late. Exactly get the buff percent when they Echidna and Deimos is the end content season. So get the rollback of the buff. You guys can think like these situations. So this situation is happen because normally most users in Lostark are not expertiser. When they make the shoot downs, push immunity characters data become increased because if the late is easy, no special systems, push immunity characters don't make the shoot down normally and can give their own damage potentials, while other characters make the shoot downs. Smart Gaze thinks there is no reason that push immune characters shoot strong nerf is repeated, start of the Spartan late. But when they get nerfed because of that easy late, which only have shoot down in late, always next late is the hard late. This is the most problems. They nerfed because of the easy late, but next late is hard late, which have the special systems. In Act 2 in here, it is impossible injure the boss attack because of the temperature systems. And because boss HP is too high, showing high potential classes are essentials, value of push immune characters become low. Why? They get the nerf at the before late, so they also have the low potential damage in the Act 1, but because of the high data, thanks to push immunity, they get the one more nerf. So issue the very lower damage potential than the other classes. So, but in Act 2, it is impossible to injure the boss attacks, so the data of push immune characters become lower. And also, we got the nerf, so issue the very bad data in these seasons. Also in Act 3, Mordum have the super CC system, which cannot be ignored with space also, so injure the boss attack is impossible. And it is the fixed boss, so high damage potential classes, high potential, which lead push immunity characters show the bad performance in this season also. Then push immunity character got the buff? No, why? Because even if there are so many special things in hard lates, normally more than half of the Lostark users get the shoot down in those late also. So data showing that in average data systems, push immunity characters show the average data. Then SmartGate thinking, it's good balance, just passing them. But in the top class users situations, because they don't get any shoot downs and making their own damage angles, push immunity's characters' low damage potential lead to the very bad performance. Then the problem is occurred when the hard late, difficult late is appeared, like the first mode. And in here, when the first mode is released, all classes which their good points are push immunity show the very bad results because it is impossible to injure the boss attacks. Some special patterns are there which make the also damage loss to the push immunity characters, and still they have the low damage potentials. Be Artillerist case. No clear person appeared before the core opened in the first mode. Destroyer, only one person in top 10, even if stagger value is very high in the first mode in Khazars. Breaker, with so many people are there, similar with the Deathblade, they got so many rejections at start of the first mode, only 2 men in the top 10, while Swordfist have the 3 mans, Deathblade have the 7 mans. Swordfist have the very lower people in these classes, but have the many top 10 clear users, Deathblade, showing the similar people distribution like the Breaker, but 7 men clear. Also, Gunlancer, normally all party at least take the 1 gear for the staggers, push immunity, CC immune, gimmick ability, but only 6 person in the top 10, lower than Deathblade. That's of the push immune characters in the first mode. And after core is released, broken balance is still maintained. At Circulate also, because of some special things that Fatal Space give the debuff release, except the well-core push immunity classes, all push immune based classes show the bad performance. Based on this data, in recent balance patch, all push immunity based classes get the buff, but it is after end of the first mode, after we got so many rejection in the first mode and no class data of the clear. So it is why push immune classes met at these timings. But recent rate in here, Cassandra of the Horizon is very easy. Only careful things are push attack like the Aguirre Act 1. So push immune value become very high, can injure all attacks of both, repeat of the Aguirre. While push immune classes making the damage times others are chewed down is happen in most of loans because 60% are not expertiser. Data of the push immune classes become very good is the nowadays situation in here. Then what's next? Repeat of history. This Kickstarter of Horizon is Act 1. At next rate, so push immune classes get the nerf. At next rate, Act 2. Before release of new race, push immune based class will get nerf. And next rate, because of there's some special things which cannot be injured, and because of their low damage potential, they got refused. Next rate, easy rate, no buff. Next rate, nerf. Next rate, passing and refuse. Next rate, then the first mode got rejections and showed up very bad results in the first mode. It is repeated, and the comment, Kazeros, it is just history repeated. So what I want to talk about this video is nowadays, because of core systems, there is no class who is strong because of some reasons, long delay or bad structures, etc. Just strong class have all things, high damage, high stagger, many movement skills, push immunity, while trash class have nothing, weak damage, no stagger, no paralysis, immunity. So I want to believe if director make the balance patch, please don't make the balance patch based on the average people data, thinking the top players data also, and don't thinking only end contents. Because end contents easy, push immune value is high, nerf the push immune? No, it is not right. Please, based on the many lays, and please make the prediction of the next raid, not like the first mode, because they nerf the B Artillerist prediction of the first mode, and B Artillerists are all dead in this raid. And please make balance patch based on the some baseline. Why? Strong class have all things, while weak class have nothing. So what I want to talk is when your class have many push immunity, and you guys hear, oh, my class get the nerf in KR server, then you guys can think, oh, then my class is OP in KR server. No, that's not true. Why your class get the nerf is director make the really bad fucking balance patch based on that only category of Horizon data. So this game's balance death. So thank you for watching.